Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian and I'm a mechanic, and I have over 25 years in the automotive industry. From being a mechanic, I've worked in sales and the whole automotive industry. So I'm sharing to you, the potential buyer, potential customer of a car lot, my years of experience and my knowledge to help you make better informed decisions on vehicle shopping and purchasing. I'm recording in the garage today. I finally got my garage back. For the past several weeks, and even whenever I began this channel, the garage was full of stuff, getting ready to have a yard sale and things like that. So we finally had the yard sale this past weekend and got the garage cleaned up, and I have my garage back. So I kind of want to record in here, even though it's very hot today. But you know, here, mechanic, automotive channel, let's have a garage setting. So finally had my garage back to make this video. But in the past, I've made some videos to give you all information on what it means whenever a vehicle's AC. Say a vehicle's listed for sale, and the seller saying the AC needs to be recharged. I made a video on that, and I've made a video on why auto repairs are so high. And so today I kind of want to go in another direction. And if you're in the market for a vehicle and you're shopping for a vehicle, odds are you're trying to sell or get rid of the vehicle you currently have. Most everything on the road now has an expiration date. Vehicles nowadays, they're more of an appliance, so you're only going to get so many years of use out of them, and it's time to get rid of them anyway. So but some of y'all out there may be unaware of, when should I sell my vehicle? When is it time to say goodbye to the old vehicle and move on to something new or newer? And the first thing I always tell people, the first reason to sell or trade in a vehicle would be when it no longer suits your needs. And what I mean by needs is it no longer suits your lifestyle. So let's just say you're a young teenager and your first car was a Chevy Camaro. Well, as you meet someone or you meet a spouse and you have children, well, that Camaro is no longer family friendly, so therefore you might want to consider selling it or trading that in and getting a family car, whatever that may be, whether it be a sedan or an SUV or a full-size crew cab truck, minivan, whatever it is that suits a family need. So first reason to get rid of a vehicle is when it no longer suits your lifestyle or fits into your lifestyle. The next reason to get rid of a vehicle, and I know this used to be an old saying, a lot of previous mechanics would give this advice, and it would be, if you have a major repair that costs more than the vehicle's value, then it's time to get rid of it or get a new one. Well, I kind of want to talk about that for a second, because that's kind of a gray area, because value is two different things. There's value in what you can sell it to the next person for, like what you would call a real world value, and dealerships like to refer to this as ACV, or actual cash value. If it exceeds the actual cash value, then yes, and that's what the old mechanics are talking about. When it exceeds the actual cash value of the vehicle, then maybe you want to consider getting rid of it. But I will argue, in this day and time, with new car prices being astronomically high and all-time highs, and even in the used market, for a decent used vehicle or a top brand vehicle used is almost what you would pay for a new vehicle 10 years ago. So what I would say is you also have to know what its value is to you. So if you're going to go out here and look at a brand new vehicle that's got an MSRP of $45,000, and you're staring down the barrel of a $3,000 repair on your current vehicle, that $3,000, even though it may exceed the ACV or trade-in value of your vehicle, could still be worth it to you as opposed to a $45,000 brand new MSRP vehicle. So you have to look at the value to you. Maybe it's worth it to you in your current state to go ahead and pay that $3,000 to fix it. As long as nothing else is rearing its head, then maybe you could fix it and get a few more years out of it before you go and sign up for $45,000 on a brand new vehicle in this day and time. The other reason that you would want to sell or when to sell is honestly before it gets to 200,000 miles. And this is kind of my main reasoning for making this video is, unless, and I'm going to add some caveats for those of you that maybe have some specialty vehicles and things like that. If you've got a classic 67 Mustang or a Chevelle or something like that, those are collector items, and it may have more sentimental value to you to keep it forever, and that's fine. If you've got a specialty vehicle that's worth like keeping forever and it's very, very sentimental to your heart, and I'm not saying that just Chevelles and Mustangs are worth anything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you have a specialty vehicle that maybe it's been a dream car to you, if you've always dreamed of even having a specialty conversion van, maybe if whatever's been your life dream to obtain and you finally have obtained that, then by all means keep it forever, and it's spare no expense to keep it on the road. That's fine. But I'm talking about your day-to-day cars. You go out here and you buy a vehicle for that peace of mind to transportation A to B. Those vehicles, and those are the ones that if it gets close to 200,000 miles, that's when you want to offload it to get the maximum value on a sale. I'm not saying sell a clunker. I'm just saying, as long as it's running and driving good, some people may want to push it and push it and push it. The problem with that is if you push it and push it beyond 200,000 miles, its value is pretty much nothing at that point. You can limp it along until it quits and sell it to a scrapyard. That's one option. But if you want to get the maximum value out of the vehicle to turn around and use as either a down payment or put with some money that you saved up to go buy a nice used vehicle or a new vehicle, then I would recommend selling between 175 to 200,000 miles. The reason I say that is because once a vehicle gets over 200,000 miles, and I don't care if you have a meticulous maintenance history on that vehicle, and you can show a potential buyer every little bolt and repair and oil change that you've done on it, they're still going to be skeptical. And the reason being, no matter how well you maintain a vehicle, you can have an assumed confidence in it. Maybe you, the owner of it, know that you've maintained it. You wouldn't care to jump in the car and drive across country in it because it's been reliable to you. But a new buyer is not going to trust that. A new potential buyer is going to go into that vehicle and maybe like the looks of it and maybe like how you've maintained it. And the interior may be decent enough for that high mileage, but there's always that chance, because it's a vehicle, that either a transmission could go out, the engine could end up needing to be overhauled or go out and need to be replaced. And both of those are very pricey items. So once you get over 200,000 miles, you might get 10% of the original value of that vehicle out of it. Back in the 90s and everything, whenever I first started driving, it was nothing to go out and buy a $500 car or a $1,000 car and it lasts 3, 4, 5 years. Well, you can't find those anymore. So whenever it gets over 200,000 miles, those are now the cars that buyers want to buy for 1,000, 2,000 tops. They don't want to risk a lot of money, regardless of what it is, in anything with over 200,000 miles. So I would maybe mark a 160, 175,000 miles as kind of, that's the offload point to be able to at least get maybe 30% of the value of the vehicle out of it in a sale. Other than that, now if you've got a dream boat or a dream car that you've always aspired to own, this video don't apply to you. By all means, keep it on the road, put as many engines in it as it needs to stay alive, so on and so forth. But I'm just trying to make this video to help your average vehicle owner, help you all be aware of kind of the offload point, to be able to help you get into a newer, lower mileage vehicle, and maximize the use of your current vehicle. So I hope you like this video. Stay tuned and subscribe for more videos coming up. I'm trying to make little videos here and there to share pieces of my knowledge that I've learned along the way, to help you in the future. I'm trying to give back to the people what I never had growing up. So God bless y'all. Have a great day.